What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 15 of the SashaT podcast, a Whatnot original. And we got a very, very special guest, Jeffrey Rizo. If you don't know Jeff, he actually owns 2 card stores here in Southern California in the Riverside area. He's been in the card industry for over 30 years, around 35 years, has been in the game, has seen the ups of the card industry, the downs of the card industry, and everything in between. I've been trying to get Mr. Rizo on this podcast. He just had a baby, though, so it's been kind of tough to get him on. But I think we're going to have a really interesting, good dialogue kind of going through your story and how you kind of got to where you are today and just provide people value, especially in this interesting time in the market. So thank you, Jeff, for coming on the podcast, man.
I appreciate it.
You excited?
I'm excited. I'm here, right?
You're here. We got you here. I'm stoked, bro.
What up, Whatnot?
Yeah, we are live on Whatnot right now, so people are going crazy right now in the chat. Jeff, if somebody doesn't know who you are, right, like if they just don't know much about cards, they don't really know what you got going on, can you kind of give like a background of yourself and like your kind of standing in the card industry right now?
So we own 2 locations in Southern California. Me and I have, I'd say, about 7 or 8 breakers underneath us that break on. Some of them break on Whatnot. Some of them break on IG.
Okay.
These are people that pretty much work for Rizo Sports, do well with Rizo Sports, and we try to give whatever we can to the community, which is great. My son, Michael Rizo, is pretty much the man behind the scene. He gets everything organized. He gets everything, the product to everyone. He helps out on that aspects. I will turn around and go to the shows, and I try to buy. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that know that I try to buy everything I possibly can.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened today. We're at the Newport show, and you walked in, and there's a crowd around you.
And that's what it was. It was nonstop. It's fun. It's good.
How can we wind it back, and then we'll kind of move forward? But can we wind it back of what was your first kind of memory in the card industry and how you got into cards?
I know exactly one. So there was this local liquor store in 1983, and they had Topps cards. And this guy would sell Topps cards, 1983 Topps, and didn't even care about sports at that age. You know what I mean? We're talking about 35 years ago. So
how old are you?
I'm 48, so I was 13.
Sheesh.
And my other buddies at school would collect other things, comics, G.I. Joe, or maybe not G.I. Joes yet, but other toys, and a couple would collect sports cards. So it was just kind of cool to interact. Without watching the sport, just interact and get it. Then I'll tell you what, the following year, and this is what started the boom, and this is what started for most people that break, I think. I got an 84 Donruss pack, and I pulled out a Don Mattingly rookie. The pack was $2, which was unheard of back then because the other packs were like 50 cents.
Oh, so this is like an expensive product.
The guy at the liquor store, for some reason, it cost him more, or he just said it's a good set because the liquor store was actually a card shop. It was weird. He would have all the wax because he enjoyed it. I pull out this Don Mattingly, and I take it to a local sports card place because he was the hottest prospect out there. He was the big thing, came from New York. They give me $50 cash.
For the card?
$50 cash for an 84 Donruss Mattingly. Now, you got to understand, back then, there was no internet. There were no cell phones. There was an advertisement whatsoever.
Yeah.
Person goes in a card shop. They give them a want list, what they want to purchase, what they'll pay. And it'd be their opportunity at the sports card shop to go get it. Someone wanted that 84 Donruss Mattingly. They gave me $50. They probably sold it for 60 or 70. I thought I hit the jackpot. I thought that those cards come in every pack. I didn't know about it. I think I went back there, took the 50, told my mom about it. She didn't really believe it because you're talking about a time when minimum wage was like $3.35.
That's crazy.
So I just made.
So that's like two full shifts of work.
I just made $50 selling a card. I go back the next day, liquor store. I buy more of them. I did hit another one. I got lucky.
So you're just ripping, getting the card, and selling.
And then you're talking about there was other character or not character.
This was like legit breaking.
This is breaking before anyone knew what breaking was.
Yeah.
So this is legit gambling because I'm over here going in there trying to do it again.
Yeah.
I got the best card you possibly could get.
And you go in there again to try to hit it.
And I did. I hit another one.
It's a lucky man.
And did the same thing.
Did you go to the same person?
Same store. Right there off of Magnolia and Riverside. Their name was Players. And they bought it again. And they said, hey, you bring any of those? See if you can get me some tops, Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry, Don Mattingly's. See if you can give me some Fleer. The guy had tops. They were cheaper. I was able to buy with $100. I was able to buy.
Yeah, you reinvested your money.
I reinvested. And I did it over and over. And, they didn't pay much for the tops, unfortunately. I kind of got burned. I think I ended up getting 2. I want to say they gave me maybe $15 for both, but they were a lot cheaper too.
Yeah.
So that was the bug. That was the first bug. So after that, I knew that a lot of friends at school, their older brothers collected cards, and they would bring their cards in and they wouldn't take care of them. And I said, hey, check this out. I want Don Mattingly's. I'll pay you guys cash. I'll give you guys $5. $5 is a lot.
Yeah. Especially to like a 13-year-old, right?
A lot. I guarantee, I know for a fact, there's this guy named Michael who went into his brother's collection, who was Scott. And the reason I know this is because he found like 4 Mattingly's for me. And he brought them. He sold them to me. I turned around, had my mom take me to that same place, made some good money. Man, his brother showed up the next day. Where are my cards? You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. So if you're out there, man, hey, I appreciate it because you're the reason why I started sports cards.
That's insane.
Then after that, it got crazy. It got real crazy.
When was like the moment where you're like, okay, like I think I can actually like do this as like a business?
So that was 84. 85 was pretty cool because everybody liked this new. Topps came out with this new concept where they put the USA Olympic team in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a whole bunch of guys that I can't remember, but Mark McGuire was one of them. But he really didn't have the dollar value that everyone wanted. So I would still continue to buy stuff, and I would kind of take it to the card shop, and I would get whatever I could. Sports cards were up and down, but nothing like the big boom in 87.
Yeah.
In 87, all of a sudden, sports card shops started opening up. One down the street, 88, another one. And they just started flooding everywhere. I had about 4 sports card shops within a 5-mile radius from me.
That's insane.
And so here's the beautiful thing. I had already been doing it for 2 years. So I knew a little bit what to expect, what to take, what I can make money on. Because like I said, once again, there's no internet.
Yeah.
There's no cell phones.
You can't check comps on anything.
You can't check comps on anything. It's what someone's willing to pay.
Yeah.
That's what I tell some of these people now. People love to say, what's the comp? The comp is what someone is willing to pay. That's a comp. If you get more than what the last one sold for, guess what? Someone was willing to pay for it. If you get less, that's what they're willing to pay.
That's the market.
Yeah. So the crazy thing is there, I would go there pretty much every day after school. And my mom realized that, geez, whatever this kid's doing, it's working. Sports cards. People back then, we're at 87 now. People love to collect the full sets. Everyone wanted the full sets. Topps, I believe, was 792. Fleer was 660. Dunners was 660. Everybody wanted a complete set. So what they would do is they would go into this card shop. And for those of you guys who remember and know this, they would write down, you'd come in with a piece of paper, and they would have all the numbers they're missing to complete the set. And the card shop would sell it to them for like $0.25 a piece. Well, what I would do is I would get that list, and I would go to each other card shop on my bike, which was within a 5-mile radius, and I'd get their list. Man, I mean, people sometimes needed 60 cards to complete, 100 cards to complete. Some guys needed 150, but they wanted completed sets. And I'm just going around, and then they see some kid just buying this and having the money, so they're giving me commons for like a nickel. I'm selling it back to them for 15 cents, and that's not a lot of money, but boy, it adds up.
Yeah,
when you're
3xing.
Oh, I'm 3xing my money off of commons. Some were stars, and they give you the credit for the stars, but a lot of people just wanted to build sets.
Were people trying to build sets though because they thought it was just like from the collector aspect, or did they think that was like where the value was in a way?
You know what? So much people didn't really think of the value as much. It was more of a collector perspective, because you got to understand, in 87, nobody cared about basketball cards. Nobody cared about football cards. I don't care what anyone says. I remember being at Woolworth and other places, and you would see 86 Fleer basketball for $9, and it would sit. But you'd see 86 Topps for like, I want to say 35 cents, and it was selling. Nobody cared about basketball at that time.
So nobody was buying 86 Fleer.
Nobody was buying basketball. No one was buying football. Everyone was buying baseball. Baseball was the hot thing.
That's crazy.
Nobody cared about it. I remember picking up 86 Tops because it was cool. It had a green stripe. And I got it, I want to say maybe about $7-8. And I thought, oh man, I scored, because if I can sell these for 36 packs for like even 35 cents or whatever, I'm going to kill it. Nothing. I think that was probably my first loss.
Really?
Oh yeah. Nobody cared about it.
At that time though, were you ever thinking, oh, like, hey, maybe I should shift in, like, were people thinking, oh, there is going to be value with a basketball or a football, like, down the line, or were people just so in that moment that all they were kind of focusing on was baseball?
Everybody was focusing on baseball. What made football football, what made basketball basketball, was Beckett. People don't realize that. When Bo Jackson, one of the hottest athletes, came on the first cover of football went nuts. Why? Because Beckett had been around forever, and you only had prices of baseball cards. Nobody had a price of a football card. Nobody had a price of a basketball card. Nobody knew what was in the set unless you looked at the checklist or looked at everything. But yet you'd get a baseball Beckett, and it would give you information about the hobby. It would give you listing of shows. It would get you everything. But yet it wasn't until '89 when Bo Jackson comes on the first cover of football goes through the roof. Went through the roof. People started getting it, going for it, and I saw it because I'm there firsthand seeing it. And then something came out like 1989 Score Football, and it changed the game because you were just used to Tops. Everybody was used to Tops.
So what was like a Bo Jackson card going for at that time?
Oh man. Well, here's the crazy thing. His rookie card was an 88 Tops, which was football. No one really cared about it, but everyone loved his 87 Fleer cards. They were pretty hot, maybe about $6-7. But when he came out with his card where he's holding the Nike bat without that, people were getting whatever they wanted for it back then.
That's insane.
It was going crazy. So football owes Beckett for where they're at now. Basketball owes Beckett because they came out, I want to say a year later, with the Michael Jordan. All of a sudden, people knew what was in the sets. People had value. People were able to see a price guide. What used to be back then was this price guide that came out once a year. And everything can change throughout the year. Person gets hurt. Person's not even in the league. They don't change it. That's it. That's all you add. It wasn't until that happened.
But where was a Beckett getting their price points from? I guess that's
Beckett just had a market on it, and they were able to figure
because
out.
a place like Card Ladder today, right, or they get their values based off of comps, right? Whether that's eBay, whether that's Heritage, whether that's Golden. It's just interesting to see back then what was Beckett.
That's all you had. That's all you had to go with.
Because couldn't they just make up oh yeah, this card's $10?
They could, and people would go with that. But
now it's at the market.
Here's the whole thing. Now, what's manipulation? I mean, anyone wants to put a price or you sell it for, then you think that's your new comp. What's the difference? Beckett came out every month, so you'd get a price change every month.
Yeah. And
then you got a personal page that would tell you what cards are hot, what cards are down, what cards to get, what cards not to buy. But Beckett is the only reason why. I mean, probably not, but Beckett is one of the main reasons why football became football and basketball became basketball. Before that, nobody cared about it at all. Guaranteed. And like I said, that 89 Score set was fire. Then, all of a sudden, baseball, seeing some competition, changes the game. 89 Upper Deck. Cards were beautiful. Beautiful. The most beautiful thing you've ever seen in sports cards. The cardboard was thicker. They had a hologram in the back, which made every card feel special. And it changed baseball. It helped baseball. And it's funny, during this time, I'm 15, killing it, making more money than my teachers off of sports cards. It's just like today. Nothing's changed. People think it's changed. It hasn't changed. There was a show or two, probably about 3 shows every weekend. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. in Riverside. I don't know how the other states were. I don't know. But I know I could go to the Holiday Inn. My mom would drop me off. I know I could go to Barry Bonds Park in Riverside. I know I can go to, what else was there? Howard Johnson's Inn. There was all kinds. And convention centers always had baseball card shops. They were nuts. They were crazy. They were booming. And it held basketball and football because they had a Beckett. Beautiful thing about Upper Deck was there was a man who he saw me at all these shows, and he saw me grinding and hustling everything that I did at the shops during the week to go sell.
Yeah.
Just like what we do now. Just like what you see these kids do now. Same thing, no difference, right? Difference is they have the internet, so it makes it easier. So they're able to see stuff. Unfortunately, I had the privilege of being at the stores and seeing what people were willing to pay in front of me. So I knew what to get on the weekend at the shows, and I would see the wish list that people wanted and what they were able to, what they're willing to pay for a card. So I was killing it. I was like inside trading. You know what I mean? Long story short, a man comes up to me, and like I said, 89 Upper Deck was fire. He has maybe about 400 or 500 Ken Griffey Juniors in a box. Now these things are going for about $15. He says, hey, any chance you want to move some of these in here, and I'll wait right out the door. I'm like, well, this is weird.
That's a little weird, right?
It is a little weird. I'm 13. You know, my mom drops me off at these shows because I knew everyone. I took the box. I probably moved about 50 of them in the room, $9 a pop. Went to the guy. I said I sold 9. I'm sorry. I sold 50 of them, $9 a pop. Had me give him the cash. He let me keep the rest. I'm like, what the heck? 89 Upper Deck, Ken Griffey Juniors. You're letting me take these home?
So you would sell what you could sell. You give him the cash, and then
people don't realize how many Upper Deck back then. And I'm sorry, guys, and I apologize for this. Upper Deck was printing money. They were printing money. I don't know how they got it out the back door or what.
That's what I'm saying. Are you saying they backdoored this stuff?
This guy, I don't think he was a rep for them, giving me a good deal. And I asked him straight out because I told my mom the story. She thought, like, what are you doing with all this? And I told her, and she said, hey, wait a minute. She wanted to find him to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Next show, same guy, same thing. And I loved it. I didn't care. You know what I mean? I'm a kid. I'm making money. I'm killing it. Then I learned that he doesn't want me to sell everything. So I'm able to go lower. And now I'm really crushing it because I'm selling them for $6 a pop, knowing that I just got to pay him off or break him off. And I'm killing it now. And like I said, man, I'm going Monday stacks of money, whatever. And I'm asking kids, hey, let me get your cards. Let me get this, sign them to school, sign them. And then the beautiful thing is they have a Beckett to look at. So they see this big price at a Beckett, and I'm selling stuff at a fraction of the price.
Okay, did you ever find out if that dude like worked for Upper Deck?
I'll tell you, it got better. So what happened was Upper Deck did a Series 2. Man, it had a Nolan Ryan throwing a football. It had a Jim Abbott 3D. It had Jerome Walton for the Cubs. And he was the same way. He'd come in with this white box. 300 Nolan Ryans, 300 Jim Abbotts, 300, and he would tell me, just move them. I'd bring it back. I was killing it. I was probably making back.
The same guy?
Same guy. Back door.
Who is this dude?
Back door. And you know what? If he's seen it right now, he's like, damn that kid. But now there's a reason why Upper Deck is nothing but hockey too. I mean, obviously.
Like, isn't that like at some point like illegal, like in a way, or is it like?
I'm a kid selling cards.
Not you. I'm not saying you. Like, because you're a 13-year-old, you don't know. You're just getting it. But I'm saying like in terms of like, do you think that's still going on today in a way?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. How can it not be? I mean, when individuals, at the end of the day, if the United States government can print as much money as they possibly want and put it out there, how easy is it just to print a card when you have a printing shop? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what's to say workers didn't go at nighttime and just grab 1,000 and they weren't like they were perfect condition. They weren't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they were because there was no, at this point,
at that point, it doesn't
matter.
It's just like
it was life. It was life. I'm literally 1989 making more money than freaking anything off of sports cards. Loving it. And then the clout and the people that know me and the people that have seen me, they're like, oh, that kid has everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm back then having better collections than other people because I learned to because say the people didn't want to give you cash, they give you trade.
Yeah.
And when they give you trade, they'll give you more because they'll buy more.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. They're moving product, and you're getting one of the hottest prospects in baseball at that point, which was Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
And like I said, when Series 2 came and everything went, it was thank you. That's all I got to say is thank you. So that was huge. And that's where I evolved. And we're talking from hitting a Don Mattingly and making $50 for a kid to making, I want to say, thousands as a kid moving cards. So when I see these kids hustling and moving, because we see a lot of them at the show, I mean, they're grinding. I love it. I love it. They're out there. Come on, Mr. Rizzo. Can't you just give me 800? Can't you? You've heard it. How many times? Yeah. Can't you just give me $50 more? Please, Mr. Rizzo. You see the last comp? How many times do I do it for them?
A lot of the times. Yeah, a lot of the times.
You've seen me overpay for a comp because I admire what they're doing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're out there doing the same thing that I did, and it's good.
When was like talk about like the downturns of the market, like in the 90s and stuff, because I feel like a lot of people like love talking like in terms of like the viewers and stuff, mm-hmm. like, and like especially us for the last couple of years, like there's been such a just 100%. Prosperous time. But
so I'll tell you what, people. Here's another story. 1985-86, garbage pail kids were life. You were making a lot of money off of garbage pail kids, flipping them and selling them for how cheap they were. So certain people went that direction. 1990, certain people went Pokemon direction. You know what I mean? People started separating a little bit in the market. What destroyed the market, I want to say, is 93, 94. Baseball goes on strike and pretty much said F you to the fans, and the fans said F you back. Nobody was buying cards. Nobody cared about cards. There was this new thing that came out 2 years earlier in 1991, which was PSA, where people started grading cards, which was a great idea due to the fact that there was a lot of, I'm not going to say counterfeit, but there was a lot of older cards that were being fixed up, and PSA was able to, and SGC were able to separate what was a good card by a grade, and that helped the industry right there. But it didn't blow up. You know what I mean? It didn't blow up. Now, my problem is I had so much wax and so much cards sitting as a kid because of the 89 Upper Deck era. Because I would get everything in trade, and whatever. I want to go out for the weekend. I want to party, have fun. At a 13, I go sell cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm stockpiled like you won't believe because I killed it. Eventually came to an end with the 89 Upper Deck. But when baseball went on strike, the industry shut down. Nobody was buying cards. Fans thought that the baseball players were selfish. No one cared about it. It ruined it. It ruined a lot of people that are very passionate about baseball. And if you look, sports cards were done. They were dead in the water. Only reason being that I'm saying that is because all the sports card shops that I went to from 88, 89, 90, 91 all started closing down. So what does that tell you? You know what I mean? They started closing down right there during that strike. Nobody's buying baseball cards. Basketball started picking up when the Beckett came. Football came up when the Beckett came. But that strike did something to them. It really did. Imagine if football says, hey, we're canceling the season. How mad are you going to be that you invested all this money into Herbert and Burrow? You'd be devastated.
Well, because it's funny because right now everybody is stocking up on football for the anticipation of the football season starting. So, like, let's say if that were just like, oh, no football. That shit goes down.
Where are the cards at? Where are the cards at? It's done.
It's done. I mean, it's going down like 50%.
100%. This time, because there wasn't an out of eBay so much, there wasn't an out of the internet, there wasn't an out to get rid of your cards. Less people were interested in because of the strike. So the market just stopped.
So like a card that was like, let's say like $5 goes to what?
Wasn't even so much that a card that went $5 goes to what? It probably was still worth $5, but nobody cared about it anymore. So it doesn't matter.
So there's no like liquidity to it.
None whatsoever. Strike literally ruined it for everyone. It was bad. It was tough.
So what do you do?
I learned to evolve. I learned because I was able to.
Wasn't there like a week there where you're just like, fuck my life?
No, well, there was. I had a lot of junk wax. I had 89 tops like crazy, 89 upper deck like crazy. I'm a kid with sitting on this wax, which I don't care. It just sits there.
Yeah.
I've made so much money. My dad will complain like, man, aren't you worried the rats are gonna ever get to the boxes? Yeah. And I'm having them stacked up, piled up, and they're worthless. They're worthless. 88 tops, nobody wants it. 89 tops, no one wants it. 90 tops, no one wants it. 90 Fleer. I will tell you this though, and this is kind of backtracking where I did make some money, was 89 Fleer, and it was the luckiest thing ever. 89 Fleer was, I'm sorry to go back on this. 89 Fleer, I'm inside this place, which is called Stand the Man, downtown Riverside, right?
Stand the Man. Shout out Stand the Man.
It's a great place, great sports car shop back in the day. And there's this guy right here, and he's buying these 89 cards, 89 Fleer cards for $100 each. And I see it. I'm like, what the heck? These packs are like 35 cents each. And what happened was the Billy Ripken, can we say F-face? Fuck face?
Yeah.
So
you say whatever you want.
All right. They had the Billy Ripken fuck face on there. And this guy's paying $100 for them. I told my dad that I witnessed it. And I'm like, hey, you got to take me everywhere. We just got to pick up every 89 Fleer. I'm telling you, these cards are in there. And they didn't really promote it as much. And then when it did, it hit the news. It hit everything that they kind of, they pull those out. I killed it on that card. Because a lot of people didn't know they had it in their comments. A lot of people. So I'm like, throwing them in, pretending like I'm getting my little wish list, putting that card in there, and I'm selling those for like 65 each, killing it at the shows. But anyways, let's go back to the other end.
Yeah.
Market's done. I've moved on to Pokemon, believe it or not. Back then, my son, no, not Pokemon yet. Sorry. What do we do? We went like strives of everything. We're at 1993. I graduated in 92. So I'm not there yet. I actually just probably enjoyed the next 2-3 years just messing around. Like
this is after high school.
This is after high school. Because 93 was dead. No one cared about cards. They really didn't.
So all the stuff that you had, you just left it?
I just what are you gonna do with it? You're gonna burn it? You're gonna give it away? I just left it. I had it stockpiled. And then all of a sudden comes, I want to say 1998.
I was born in 98.
Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, Ken Griffey Jr., and Mo Vaughn. 30 home runs before the All-Star break, each of them. Everyone's anticipating who is going to break the record. Everybody's wondering, are 4 guys going to hit 61 home runs? Guess what? Baseball went through the roof.
So it had another run up.
It had a huge run. It went like crazy. And then people who weren't baseball fans, everybody's looking at their newspaper the next day. Did Sammy hit a home run? Did Ken Griffey hit a home run? Did Mo Vaughn hit a home run? Did Mark McGwire hit a home run? And all of a sudden, there was interest once again. Everybody was buying Mark McGwire cards, which led up to 1987, which I had tons of. You know what I mean? So I scored.
Yeah.
So all that junk that I had sitting there that nobody wanted started to have some value. Then the most beautiful thing is from about 1991 to about 1997, PSA had graded 1 million cards, which is nothing. All of a sudden, that year, they graded like 2 million cards. People wanted to have a different sense of value on what a top-notch card should be. 98, like I said, revamped it up. And then people started appreciating PSA as well. So what really happened was, I know Griffey got hurt. He still ended up at like 50-some home runs. Mo Vaughn kind of tailed off. And you had Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa duking it out every single day. In September, it was the biggest thing. Everyone's just, who hit it? Who's going to get there? Baseball went through the roof. You had fanatics who weren't fanatics. You had fans who didn't care about it, loving the sport once again. And you had people who wanted to be collectors but wanted to be safe this time, appreciate PSA and graded cards, which had a higher premium because A, you knew that it was a legit card. B, you knew that there was a grade that determined scarcity. And we all know everything's about supply and demand.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, PSA went through the roof. That home run derby between those guys through the year lit a fire and everything.
So when you went to a show, though, is that where you started to see like PSA graded cards at shows?
I started seeing them more at 1998. Yes. Okay. That's when you started seeing a lot more. People started paying high premiums. But here's the beautiful thing. all my junk wax. People want to pay a high dollar for it now because they knew that this was an opportunity for them to get a PSA 10 Jose Canseco from 87 Tops, a Mark McGwire from 87 Tops. You know what I mean? This was their way to get those perfect cards now. They knew that they had a better chance getting a sealed box, submitting it to PSA, and 10 times their money at that point. You know, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And like I said, once again, I was back in business. I was like, cards are back. I love it because I had such a huge stockpile of junk wax that people wanted to open just to get a grade. And once again, I was on my third run of this roller coaster ride with sports cards. So I've seen the ups and I've seen the downs and I've seen the positives and I've seen the negatives. And, you know, it was real good. It was real good in 98. 99 was amazing. Go ahead.
So when you say like the home run when they were going back and forth and the baseball was on the top, would you kind of compare that to Ohtani and Vlad this last year?
No comparison. No comparison. If you have the dads listening in this chat, or you have the people that were there watching that home run every single day, people were going nuts to see Mark McGwire. People would rush home to see Mark McGwire getting a bat. People were rushing to see Sammy Sosa. People were opening up the newspaper the next day to see who hit a home run. It was the greatest year in baseball. It brought so much fire to the industry. It brought so much new collectors to the industry. It brought life to a dying breed more than anything. It resurrected it to the fullest. That was amazing. What that did. I had my grandma who didn't care about it. She said, did Mark McGwire hit a home run? You know what I mean? That's how impressive it was. You're at the grocery store in line, and they're like, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? You had people just begging, oh, my God, look at this kid, Griffey's, because he was right up there. He got hurt. Mo Vaughn. I mean, you got to talk 4 people, 30 home runs at the All-Star break. Who's breaking Babe Ruth's record? That's what they cared about. And that September, you never saw the documentary on it?
I don't think so.
There's a documentary on it, ESPN. You guys should watch it. And you want to know history, and you really want to see what helped the industry that you're in right now, you guys should all watch it. Because they had a truth and nail what it was. It was life.
Were baseball fans at that time very intertwined with like the cards in a way? Like today, like we're seeing like a lot of fans actually don't really know about cards as much.
It's a different time frame right now. You got people that everyone thinks they're a day trader. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks that if they read enough and they're educated enough because of the internet, that they'll make millions. So you don't have as many fans, you know, I feel. I mean, I'll talk to a kid and he'll give me a list of 20 PSA 10 gold cards that he has that are worth 150,000, but he can't even, that kid that he's collecting is 18 years old, 19 years old. How can you be a fan of that? How?
Yeah.
How can you be a fan of a player that you don't watch or see play?
Is that weird to you when you see that though? When you see like I think we went down here. I don't know if that's 1 second, guys. We might be up on there. It might just be the TV, dude. On your phone, Franklin, are we still alive?
Yeah.
All right, cool. It's just probably the TV. I don't know. There we go. We're back up. 1 second. It's good anyways. We can get a little break in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mark said Beanie Babies and Power Rangers.
I killed it on Beanie Babies, guys. The good thing I was able to diversify a lot of money towards a lot of things, so I was in everything.
Listen, legend talking heavy facts right here.
All right, we got the stream back up. Luke likes you. All right.
How come Whatnot doesn't like Rizo Sports? I don't understand.
They love you, bro.
They don't, man. We get no love from them.
Nah,
we used to be one of the highest hourly rates with these guys. Killed it every night. My son grind. Killed it. We get no promotions. They're like, Rizzo who? I'm glad everyone else in Cali knows who Rizzo is, though.
They love you.
Chaz love you, man. Legends. So you think the big facts out there bring back memories?
No, yeah. So do you think that it's an issue to see where like people who are having these assets of cards aren't actually true fans of the sport or follow these players.
I mean, you have a stock in Apple. You might hate it. You might be an Android guy. Same thing. You have stock in Tesla. Doesn't mean you own a Tesla. Doesn't even mean you like electric. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to be a fan of the sport to own it. You don't necessarily have to be a fan of anything to want it. The thing is, it makes money. You think of every stock. You think of every commodity. You think of baseball cards. I mean, I know there's baseball cards that are over 100 years old. I can't say that about too many stocks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like, do you see it as an issue that if for specific cards like maybe base and silvers, there's too many resellers versus collectors of that asset? At some point that becomes an issue.
Well, just like I'm explaining to you that 88, 89, 90 was the junk era.
Yeah. Because
it was so overproduced. We're, for the first time ever, in the PSA junk era, but people don't realize it. This realistically is the PSA junk era. Why? Because all these people now, millions of cards are coming back, and they get them, and they want to resell them. They've lost the value, and they're selling them cheaper than it cost them to grade it to recoup money. I go to a show, and I'll see 300 Fernando Tatis Topps cards. You know what I mean? They're out there. Ohtani's.
Yeah.
I've gone through thousands of them.
Yeah.
This is the junk era of PSA now. People don't realize it yet. People haven't accepted it yet. And what they should have seen is the way Beckett declined so much. Have you noticed Beckett used to be higher than PSA?
Beckett 9.5 values were higher than PSA 10s.
Now they're done. Yeah. People are 60% of the value of it. It's ridiculous. They don't even want to see it. But this is the junk era of the slabs. You know what I mean? Everybody has their slabs coming back. Everyone has it. So, I mean, everything's supply and demand. What makes it valuable when there's 20,000 PSA 10 Zion prisms out there?
Yeah, I remember the other day I was paying on certain slabs these guys had, they were going for $4 on eBay. Mm-hmm. So I was paying $1 to $2 on them. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and it was interesting.
Cheaper than what they can get it graded for.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost worthless at that point. I remember over the summer when I was buying bulk deals, I would be paying $15 to $20 to $25 for low end slabs. And now it's literally $5 to $7 for these low end slabs. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But if you buy the right things and you get the stuff that's numbered, if you get the stuff that's colored, if you get the stuff that in other words, I pull out an orange Luca today. I pull out an orange Morant. I pull out a red. I'm number 22 of 129. I'm number 26 of 99. At the end of the day, I still have that 1 of 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's it. There's not another 26. There's not another 27. So those are the things that people should try to save their money towards. Right now, it's tough. You got a lot of stuff where there's thousands and thousands. We don't even. Here, the funny thing is, people get their orders back every day, right? Right now, as we speak on Monday, there's probably going to be 10,000 new orders of PSA that people are going to go pick up on Monday. On Tuesday, another 10,000. On Wednesday, so guess what? The population report is going up every single day. Every single day. And it hasn't stopped, but no one looks at it that way. Thursday, I'm going to go pick up an order of PSA. I have cards in there that the population report was 130 2 weeks ago. Now it's going to be 250.
And most people, when they get their orders back from PSA, they try to sell it right away.
Immediately. Why?
That becomes a problem.
And they're willing to take a loss.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because of that.
But there's still a market for that stuff, I guess.
100%, because people like it and it's good.
And it's affordable.
It's fun. Still fun. You're still collecting.
It's just different than how it was 2 years ago.
Or
3 years ago.
But why? I mean,
people were grading anything at one point. It was literally I pulled this card, I'm just going to grade it. Remember when Mosaic basketball came out? Mm-hmm. That was the height of grading. They would rip Mosaic basketball, pull whatever. Remember LeBron base, first year Mosaic basketball, first year Laker uni? They would love that shit. And they'd just send it. And now that card as a 10 is nothing. It's $15 or $20.
Yeah. So, like I said, 1998 brought back the industry. PSA helped the industry. And there's been ups and downs. People started to accept and appreciate basketball over the years because of the Asian market, European market. Uh, you know, what's helped us more than anything right now, which you want to hear something that's a little scary, in my opinion, is so you look at basketball 2017 and you look at football 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. You look at our draft classes that we've had. We've actually been eager for a new season to see a new quarterback or a new basketball player. We've been able to see Tatum, Ball, Zion, Morant, Luca, Trey. Look at last year of football. How many quarterbacks in the draft? Year before. Amazing. Guess what? Look at this draft. Good luck next year, guys.
Wait, why?
Look at it.
Basketball horrible, football got receivers.
My bad, guys. I'm not paying attention. I'm just trying to fit this live stream out right now. So Rizzo's taking over.
Pause? We on pause?
No, we're rolling.
I'm saying, I'm trying to be, keep it real. Game recognized game. It is what it is. It's like, it's tough. We've been very lucky at our draft classes lately. And that's helped the cards increase and do well.
I said, do you think NFT is affects card collecting?
I'm sorry?
Do you think NFTs affects card collecting?
I think there's individuals that were so heavily into crypto and they decided to put a lot of money into sports cards and NFTs that if one of those were to go down, it will affect the other. And I have a lot of personal friends that were like that.
I mean, a lot of NFTs just went to zero.
A lot of them did. So now you look at all those people that were picking sports cards and picking NFTs because that was the split.
Yeah,
they were.
There wasn't a lot of people that were doing both. It was weird.
They would switch. No, they went from sports cards and they saw it take a dip and they all threw it in the NFTs. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
They all wish they would have stayed with the sports cards because the sports cards, once again, one's been around since over 100 years and one's pretty new and not doing too well.
Yeah.
What would you take?
I mean, I would always go with cards because I'm a card guy, but I do think that there are NFTs long term that play out well. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people got burned because I think there are so many bullshit projects in NFTs that just like the creators just were in it for a money grab versus 100%. Actually building it out. That's what I would say. But I there's a lot of people that would rather hold a physical like asset versus having something on the internet. I like both. I'm going to be honest. I honestly enjoy both. And I think that there's going to be a time where NFTs, in terms of like what it is, makes a positive impact in the card community.
So here's who's this?
Noise Boys Breaks.
So I'm going to tell you right now, one of the best holds, one of the safest holds, one of the best investments, guys, and you heard it here, are comic books. Comic books over the course of the years continue to go up. Comic books over the course of the years continue to evolve. Every 3-5 years we get a new Batman. Every 3-5 years we get a new Spider-Man. Every 3-5 years we get a new Marvel character. Comic books continue to go up. A, I don't have to worry about the Hulk raping anyone. B, I don't have to worry about Spider-Man killing someone. I don't have to worry about Superman, testing death for a game. So there's nothing that hurts comic books. You want graded, high-end comic books, and your assets are set. People that own high-end comic books do not lower them. Do not go cheaper. There's nothing. They're not going to break their leg. They're not going to have a bad season. They're not going to say something out of line like LeBron to diminish their history. Comic books are one of the safest ones.
So what's that one thing like the comic book was like performers. The dude had those comic books he showed you.
Oh yeah, there's a guy that came up to a show. He had some comic books he showed me. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly what they were, but
it was like music, like sort of like album was on a magazines.
I'm talking about, regular high-end comic. If you look at the comic book industry, if you look at Whatnot, you ever see how many people are on Whatnot doing comic books? It's crazy. You probably haven't, huh?
I have not looked at the comic book section.
Go look at the comic book section.
We'll look at it after this.
Those guys get down, man. And I'm telling you, they're not worried about it. Hulk 181, best example of recent year. Yeah, no, boys. Go look at my, go follow my IG and see how many of those I have.
Let's talk about your two shops, how kind of Rizo Sports started.
So I collected sports cards.
Yeah.
I made a lot of money off of sports cards. Frankinson's is a place that I would go Wednesday and Saturday, which everyone knows Frankinson's out here on the West Coast. Yep. I started going there when I was like, I want to say 18, religiously. So when I got older and I had my son Mikey, I'd bring him there when he was 10, 11, 12, 13, every Wednesday after school, every Saturday, he would go with me. And you could tell he didn't like it at all. You know what I mean? He was pissed, you know what I mean? But we do it. We're going to Frank's. And I used him more so that, you know, I just had someone to talk to, whatever, you know what I mean? So this kid, so what I would do is I would go to one particular person, Dan the man, Dan right there, Dollar Dan. And me and my buddies, we like to gamble. So what we would do is we would buy the most expensive box. And Dan would put the numbers in a bag. And you got your first pick, your second pick, your third pick. First place gets to pick whatever card. Second place gets to pick whatever card. Third place, so on and so forth. Those were the first hit drafts before anyone else was doing it. We were doing it. You know what I mean?
Amongst yourselves.
We were doing it we were doing it before the internet. Or not the internet, before people were breaking.
Yeah.
Because I was doing it when, you know, Mikey's 25. So we were doing it, 15 years ago.
It's crazy.
And we were doing it. So here's the beautiful thing about Mikey. We would get the best cards out of there, right? Everybody like, oh, little Mikey, and they feel bad because I'm keeping him here, right? They'd actually like, man, dude, your son's tired. Come on, your son's hungry. And I'm like, no, he's having a good time. And you could tell he's just like bored stiff because he's not opening anything.
Yeah.
They would give him all the commons. They would give him all the cards. Then, you know what he started doing? He did what I did way back when, not even realizing it. He would go around to all the people. One guy wanted all the Angels. One guy wanted all the Dodgers because they wanted to do team sets they would sell. One guy wanted all the number stuff because we didn't really – there was tons of number stuff in there. No one knew about numbered stuff back then. We wanted the best rookie, the best card, and the numbers weren't really because they were comments, but people would pay for that. So this kid is going around all over Frankinson's. We get in the car. I'm like, I know, son. Did you want to pick up a toy? He's like, no, I made $300. What the heck? And now then it gets to the point where he's begging me. We're going Wednesday. He'd get his homework done as soon as we get out of there. Saturday.
So now he likes it once he sees the money.
Man,
when
he
he's making
saw
money.
it like this, and he'd be like, hey, can I get that? Can I get that? And they'd give it to him, you know, because he's a kid right there. We wanted the big stuff. The losers didn't get anything, so it's the winners, and he just would hustle. Before you know it, he couldn't believe how much money he was making at age 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He always told me, he used to make a joke about it. He said, Dad, this is the plan. I got the plan. And I was like, okay, man, your plan's working. You know what I mean? And everyone knew us at Frank's. Everyone knew Mikey. Everybody at Frankinson's knew Mikey, knew me. And the kid's killing it, making what used to be $200-300 a Wednesday, $2,000-3,000 a Saturday. Killing it off of just doing what I pretty much did. And it was crazy. And then he started getting his own little collection. And then his collection evolved because he's able to get stuff. He's able to trade cards. And now he's blowing his collection. His collection's getting bigger. And he always talked about opening up a card shop. And I told him, bad idea. I saw when they all shut down, you know, everything goes in spurts. Everything goes up and down. Everything does that. And we're headed. We started going to some trade nights that they did. And I'm buying like crazy. I love it. Pandemic's right around the corner. Hits us in March. I'm buying stuff in February.
Right before it.
Tons of people are panicking as soon as the pandemic. I'm getting all kinds of calls. Hey, Mr. Rizzo, I know you're a big sports card guy. Do you want to buy my cards? I'm like, I've done it before. I've sat on it before. If I really think the world's coming to an end and we're never going to have a sports season, then I lost. But what does it matter? But I was there when there was no baseball season, and I was the one who reaped the rewards when it came back. So I told my son we're buying everything, and I went out and I bought everything. And you know me, You know everyone who knows me. Who was buying more than me, honestly, Sasha?
I can tell a story if you want to.
Go ahead.
You told a lot of stories. I'll tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got into cards, the first couple events I'd go to would be bullpen trade night.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've heard stories about this guy, mysterious guy named Mr. Rizo, that would come into these trade nights and just cash out people.
Everybody.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, who is this dude, right? The trade night, literally right before COVID like hit, Rizo and I bet you had like a couple other people with you.
And my son with me and one of my buddies.
And they like were at the kind of the back end of where bullpen LA is, like in the back kind of area. And there was a legit line of probably like 20 people waiting for Rizo. And Rizzo was just looking at the card, checking it out, boom, cash people out, cash people out, cash people out. It was one of the like most insane things I've seen, like because at that time, like cashing out like a collection for like 100,000 was like insane, right? Like now people say 100K and it's like nothing to them.
You've personally seen me drop 400,000 or 500,000 in a night.
Yeah. It's insane. But at that time, I'm saying like 100K, like pre-COVID, spending on sports cards in like 2 hours, like that's like insane.
And I would walk away with a $250,000.
And I thought he was crazy. Like I was like, who is this dude? Like, this is like insane, right? Because at that time, like nobody, like I didn't have like I had like tray-based tens and you know what I mean? Like it was way different, right? And that was just one of those experiences for me where I was just like, holy shit, like this is crazy. And luckily when COVID hit, stuff in the beginning went down, but then like a couple weeks after that, it was just this insane run up.
So I got lucky and I had a couple buddies that said, hey, I don't feel safe out there in the world. Can you please help me and cash out my wax collection? I'm talking big guys that had wax collections. Once again, I'm going to revert. I stockpiled this stuff as a kid, and I made a ton of money off of it. So it was just part of this roller coaster that I've been on before. I bought them, and I bought them, and I bought them. I can tell you from one person, I bought 78 boxes of Prism first off the line Luca for $700 each. First off the line Luca. I bought every Luca you can possibly think of. I was buying and buying and buying. And all of a sudden my son's like, okay, we have 3 rooms filled. What are you going to do? I said, sit on it. I've sat on it before. What's the big deal? What are you going to do with the money right now? You're going on a trip? You're going on vacation? This kid said, let's start breaking some stuff. I said, no, I want to break my stuff. That's my stuff. And he's like, no. And I was like, we actually fought for it. And he said, Dad, a lot of people are doing it. I want to do it. And I'll tell you what, this kid took it and ran with it. I mean, beginning, we didn't know what we were doing. Beginning, we had help. Our very first break, I remember picking the numbers out of a blender cup. That was us.
That's right.
That was the first day. That's us trying to figure it out. And this kid grind and posted. And then people started getting the name. And then it's that we got so much product and it was a pandemic. And then I just said, you know what? Pretty much a year later, let's just open up some shops. We have so much product. Let's do it. And he's like, well, you told me bad investment, bad time. At that point, we were so much in the positive, it didn't matter. But that was Rizo Sports. You see what he does on IG. He sees with the breaks. You see what on Whatnot. Like I said, Whatnot, show us some love one time, please.
Whatnot shows you love. I know it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. But we have a lot of people out there, a lot of fan base, a good fan base, good people. And we love it. I mean, like you see me at shows. You saw me at shows every time. Was it there's a comes that prick or hey, that guy's cool as fuck? You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Yeah, dude. First of all, AB, I would try to buy everyone out, right? I would sit down and try to buy everyone out nonstop. It didn't matter. And second, I would chill and kick it with everyone. I had a good time. Mikey would stay behind the scene on the Rizo Sports website, on IG and all that. And that's because He gets on at 5 and grinds to 4 in the morning on some of those nights. There was nights I'd wake up at 6 and he's still on. I'm like, are you kidding me? What are you doing? I thought it was BSing, but no, he had people on the live breaking still. And me, I would do the Saturdays, I would do the shows, I would do because you had to pick up product. And then you have wonderful people in this industry. Like I want to give Central Valley. I don't know if you guys deal with Central Valley. That is a stand-up great guy. I got Calvin Z, a good partner of mine, a good friend, a good mentor. Calvin Z was a guy who he humbled me a lot. He's a good guy. I love him to death. He's been there, and he's a good friend. And, you know, Mikey developed a lot of relationships, and we developed relationships. Sasha, how many times? I love seeing you, talking to you. What's up?
It's always a fun time.
You know what I mean? We've had good times.
Yeah, 100%.
We've gone out to dinner. We go out
100%.
to lunch. We chill. We talk about it. I give you my opinion. You give me your opinion. I ask you what's up.
Yeah.
You're someone that I can pick up the phone and talk and ask anything. And 100%. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? The whole thing is now building relationships and appreciating that. You know, you learn to appreciate the people that are there, you know?
Yeah. It's not always about like the card, but the relationship you build with,
it's
the
a
people
lot.
around.
Today I did trades and these were people that I've done trades in the past and they know like here's Rizo. I mean, we have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, the good thing when you do a good trade is when both people walk away and they like what they have. It's a shitty feeling for them to walk away and like, oh man, what did I do? Now, I can't control what goes up and down. And that's happened a lot. I've had a lot of individuals come back and say, well, you know, now it's worth 2x, 3x. Well, okay, well, you know, I don't know what you want me to do. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
But Mikey really built a platform of Rizo Sports. He put it out there. He grind. And even to this day, he still grinds. And because of him, I think that's helped us tremendously because, I'm not going to be there every night breaking. And it was fun. I'll tell you what, there's a couple times I break. And like I said, we have a group of breakers underneath us. And sometimes I'll check to see how they're doing. And like, hey, they got to go take a piss break or they want to go get a bite to eat. Hey, let me get Carl's Jr. Go. I'll go on there and I'm breaking Pokemon. I love it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mikey wants me in there or whatever. And I get to talk to people. I get to talk to the chat. I mean, I love the individuals that are in there. It's cool. I really do.
Is Mikey in the chat right now?
Yeah, he is. He's in there.
I feel like Mikey's like a low-key kind of guy, though, no?
Very low-key. Well, like I said, first of all, you got to look at the schedule. He prepares, gets ready about 3 p.m. for whatever he's going to do, whatever he's going to set up, whatever he's going to do starting at 5. And, you know, we have a lot of people that we do private breaks for that people don't see, that don't want to have that publicity and pay us good money to do private breaks, which I like. And they want to be the first ones to show off their card. They don't want the whole world to see their card because they want to grade it. They don't want to say, hey, we saw that flaw. We used to get in a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? And they don't want 100 DMs. I want to buy that card. I want to get that card. So Mikey has to do a lot of stuff behind the scenes where he doesn't necessarily get to go to bed till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning after answering DMs, after checking our other breakers that everything's done, that the night's finished, the inventory's done. So he doesn't have the luxury of actually being out there and being social at shows that start at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those two things. Either I do it or I don't do it, or let him get there 3, 4 when it's too late and he has to go live again.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the luxury, but he's very low key. And it sucks because he has such an opportunity. I mean, people love him, which is good. And, you know, you met him. He's a good kid. Yeah. I loved it when you came down, you know, seeing 2 young guys that have that. I think it's great. You know what I mean? You guys have a passion for it. You love it. It's interesting. And it was great.
It's cool to see like
you see him at the trade night.
Yeah. But it's cool to see like a family run business and like you guys like being able to like do what you guys do best, like in your like separate parts of the business, I guess, in a way. Yeah.
So my cousins run the shops. Those are guys that been with me since day one, that were, you know, back in the day when I was making the money there, they were actually on the other side of that bike ride helping me out grinding.
Yeah.
I didn't put too much emphasis on them, but once again, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Now Rizo Sports is carrying us all.
How can you talk a little bit like in business about like trust and like, you know, how you go about you know, hiring and those sorts of stuff?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, that's one of the hardest parts because you hire workers and you know, a worker's going to get tempted on a card that they see. A worker thinks it's easy to open up a pack whenever he wants. A worker, you know, what's to say, hey, Jeff, I paid 85 when I really paid 75, but now I kept a free 10. You know, But the individuals that I have, trust is the most important thing. And like I said, one of them, both or two of them are my cousins, and I trust them. And like I said, it's family. You know what I mean? So it's it is difficult because I have had workers, and stuff will be missing. Stuff was like, wow, that's pretty hard. How this just sold on eBay, and I'm looking at a picture of when we pulled it, and that looks like the same autograph. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of the breakers, Mikey keeps a pretty good eye on what they're given, so it's tough, and they don't ever see any money because everything goes through, you know, PayPal, Instagram, Venmo, Cash App, Apple Pay, whatnot, Drip, Loop. Everything goes through our Rizo Sports. So the beautiful thing is they can't steal any money from us. They don't touch any money. Can they maybe give one of their friends a little more packs? Yeah, but I mean, as long as you're generating and making enough money in it, you kind of let it go.
Yeah. And what do you see the future of, like, the next 5 to 10 years of Rizo Sports and the business kind of going towards?
Well, that's interesting. Rizo Sports, which we haven't announced yet, we just did a merger with a pretty big group. And, our goal is to pretty much be all over. We merged with an individual that's a good friend of mine, and we're going to try to build their name and their brand with our support. The knowledge that I have, hopefully carrying it through the future till we work something out with Fanatics. My new partner and we have a board and we have a lot of other partners. Is Coffee Breakers, the Coffee Breakers.
That's a huge merger.
Yeah, it should go in effect. I want to say the first week of July. We had some lawyers going back and forth, which took forever. Literally, I mean, such a waste of time. We wanted to make the announcement June 1st, but I'm probably making the announcement a little bit too soon. But we'll have breakers at their place and their platform. We have a location in Vegas. We have a location at the Cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
We have a location. They have a location in Utah. They have one in LA. We have the 2 stores in Riverside. We're opening one, hopefully, I'd say by mid-July in Calabasas. There's one in New York just open up, and then I'm working on the Jacksonville one. So I've been behind the scenes trying to get everything situated, and they've been on the floor moving everything quickly as possible.
How excited are you now that kind of all the paperwork and all that stuff's done and it's official?
It's it's just a lot of technicalities that were just unnecessary, but it is what it is, and it's stuff to protect both parties, obviously. And we have something that we're able to push, and hopefully we bring a real good experience for everybody. That's the key.
Yeah.
We want everyone to have fun. We want people to continue. We're hoping that Fanatics realizes that we have places all over the United States, and that we're able to, that it's the new 1989 Upper Deck all over again. Something exciting and something new for the people.
So if somebody walks into Rizo Sports 6 months from now,
mm-hmm.
Is that still like called Rizo Sports, or how does that work out?
So what we're going to do is you're going to see Rizo Sports powered by Coffee Breakers.
Okay.
And then Rizo Sports on anything, and then Coffee Breakers will also have Rizo Sports merchandise or stuff like that. And like I said, to me, Rizo Sports name, Coffee Breakers name, it's the product and the relationships you're building. It's not necessarily the name.
Yeah.
We don't want the name tarnished. We want the name to do well, and we want Coffee Breakers to succeed and do well. And they grind hard. We've been working with them for the last month, seeing how they do stuff, seeing how dedicated they are to their breaks. I mean, you name one other person that's breaking 24 hours a day, they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're really doing it. You go on IG, doesn't matter.
They're always live.
They're always live, and that's key. That's good. And hopefully, with our support and our help, and some of the things that I've seen in the industry, and some of the stuff moving forward, we can make that better for the.
How is this merger going to affect or change your day-to-day operation of what you do?
You know what? I mean, I'm pretty lackadaisical. Man, damn right, I love the life I live.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit more I have responsibilities that I've already established and done years ago that I got to kind of redo. We're gonna have a little. We'll have meetings. We answer to emails, answer to other owners, board members. It's a little bit different. When it's Rizo Sports, the only person I got to hear bitching at me is my son.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I mean, 9 out of 10 times he's correct in the choice that he wants to do, but it's up to me if I want to listen and do it.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit different because I have a lot more people on that plate that I got to make sure that everyone's, happy with. And, we got great guys like we have Mo, good guy out there grinding hard. The guy's a soldier. He really is. And Dan Fleisman, if you guys don't know him on Instagram, I mean, he is a marketing genius. He's a great businessman. And now we have 35 plus years of knowledge in this industry and what we've seen and what we need to do to change it. We have some pretty good power, some pretty good backing too.
I mean, that's a kind of a crazy merger. Like that's huge in a way, right? I mean, that changes kind of the landscape of
everything.
Yeah, like scaling card shops in a way, right?
I think our group is to have 7 open by July from East Coast to West Coast, which is huge.
Can you talk a little bit about like what goes into opening a card shop and it being successful?
Well, I think opening up a card shop, first of all, you find the location. Location's key. Look at some of the demographics. Canyon Crest, which was one of our second locations, the mall was ideal. Like if I realized how well a mall does, I would have just opened one in every freaking mall. You have so many parents, so many kids, so much foot traffic that people don't even collect cards and they purchase them and they buy them just because they're in the mall. Compulsive shoppers. I love it. Our other location is like a pawn shop. It's beautiful. You get the people like, hey man, it's the end of the month. I need $30 for gas. I need $40 for gas. I need to pay my rent. Can I get this? And they sell you everything that you can possibly imagine at a discount rate because you're giving them cash right there and then, and you're killing it. You are killing it. I don't care if we sell a freaking wax. I don't care if we sell a single card. What you're able to consume, what you're able to purchase, what you're able to get and trade, and the value you're able to get it makes it so that I can go to the show and overpay.
Yeah.
Because I'm into my comps at 70 cents or 30 cents on the dollar. Sorry.
That's gnarly.
So now when I go give you guys a higher amount,
deals, bro.
Yeah, they come in and you'd be surprised on some of the deals you get.
Yeah.
So our demographic over there was a little bit older and I didn't put that into account. And I probably would have done stuff different, but it's definitely worked out. It's definitely panned out.
It's crazy how you go from opening up a shop, just what, a year and a half ago?
We opened up 2 shops at the same exact time.
Probably like what, a year and a half ago or ish?
Yeah,
And now you're going into having 2 shops to merging with Coffee Breakers and trying to scale this thing to, I guess, a point where no card shops have like scaled like store to store wise in a way.
No, not that I've seen.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's good. Like I said, it's part of the roller coaster, buddy. The ups and downs. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, okay, so this is like a perfect example. Like you're scaling a business right now, right?
Correct.
In the card industry.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, many people in the card industry view the market as extremely volatile, as extremely, card values day to day on stuff that maybe was doing 15, 20,000, now is doing 10 to 8, right? So how is it trying to scale a business during an extremely volatile time in the card industry?
So first of all, you have to learn the key word you said there, the card industry. What you're referring to is the sports industry, football, basketball, baseball. Our Pokemon section has gone up 20 to 30% over the last 6 months. Pokemon is continuing to go through the water. All of our breakers are destroying it on Pokemon. The profit is unbelievable. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is right on the verge and we're killing it. Magic, more people are trying to get into Magic than ever before. So here's what happened. We're not just a card industry. We are a card industry, not just a sports industry. And our Pokemon has increased in sales by about 30%. Our Yu-Gi-Oh! Has increased. I want to look at the numbers. This is starting as of May 1st. I don't have the ones for June yet. Yu-Gi-Oh was at 26% increase. Magic was at 47% increase.
Wow.
We do pops, which are going through the roof. We're able to, double our money on pops. So we're a one-stop shop that one of the sections of the card industry is suffering. But even though that's dropping, or say it gets cut in half, the other ones are increasing so much, we don't see it at all.
You're saying from that aspect that you're not feeling maybe like a decrease in sports cards value because you're doing good in other aspects.
Yeah.
But take it from like you went to the show, right? You saw like dealers just coming up to you and trying to sell stuff, right? I mean, like.
And I bought from everyone that
Yeah, 100%. But like, can you talk to the person that like is a dealer at that, the Newport show that we went to? Like, imagine you're like talking to them and they're talking about the sports card market and kind of what's going on, and they're saying, "Hey, my cards are going down week to week to week. What's a couple pieces of advice you can give to me to, to combat what's going on in this period of time?"
Learn to sell at a profit when you're able to get a profit. Don't be greedy and hold for the long run. One of the key things that, if you look at, for example, even if you cut my cards in half, everything that I purchased, and I purchased a lot right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm still winning. I'm still up. It's sort of like that crypto guy who his crypto just went from 64,000 to 30,000 and got crushed. And then you go find out that he got into it for 800. He's still crushing it.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't affect him whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. So Coffee Breakers is going to continue to purchase all the wax they possibly can. Rizo Sports, you want to bring your wax, we'll take it as much as you possibly can. Am I going to overpay for it? No, because there's enough people that are willing to give me a great deal on it. You know what I mean? But guess what? We are buying, we're buying, and we're buying nonstop. So if I really felt that worried about it, I wouldn't be pushing the envelope and buying as much as I'm buying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, the fact that Pokemon, what the heck? Thank you, Pikachu. You know what I mean? Charizard. One of the beautiful things is how popular was Pokemon when Pokemon Go was going.
Oh, that was insane. So, I remember I would be like working and like people would be like on their phones during that shit. And I was like, what the
they shut it down. Why?
Because COVID, right?
100%. They just opened it up back up June 1st. They just opened it up. How many people know that? A lot of people don't. New characters, new stuff. They're going to start promoting it. What's that going to do for it?
It's international too. So
international. Yu-Gi-Oh! Huge. Magic, I know nothing about it, but you know what? It sells.
I want to shift gears a little bit because we haven't dabbled into this. You talked about like in the 80s and 90s, like a guy from supposedly like that worked for Upper Deck, like, backdoor basically these cards, right? Like, do you still see, that sort of like, I guess not well, like business, like run like companies out there in the card industry, I guess?
Well, I mean,
because I feel like right now we're in this period of like, there's new startups coming into the industry wanting to change it for the better, whatever it is. And these older kind of standing companies are still kind of doing the same things that they've always been doing, right?
Well, let's pretend you're the CEO and the main chairman of Panini, and you have a timetable of 2 years. Are you going to put out every single product, make every single dollar, push out every single thing you possibly can, and mass produce it as much as you can?
Well, that's what that's what they're
doing.
You
go to Target. All of a sudden, there's every product you want there. You go to Walmart, and was that like that a year ago?
No.
People were fighting, pulling
out guns.
Getting shot. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
People were literally getting shot over sports cards.
You go to Target right now. Are they putting a limit on product? Nope. Not at all. You can buy as much as you want. You can pick it up because why? Panini
they're dumping.
Realize this is the end.
we're camping out.
Yeah, it's crazy now. Are they camping out now? No.
But like in terms of like that, like that's like not a healthy business strategy.
So once again, you're hoping that we get this new 89 score football, 89 Upper Deck that changed the world, which is we're hoping Fanatics will do that for this. We're hoping that Fanatics comes in and changes the industry, that they come up with a new concept, they come up with a new card, they come up with a new idea, which they have the capability of doing so.
It's kind of like yesterday talking about bringing back Exquisite.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, if Upper Deck brought back Exquisite, that's what we talked about yesterday. We had a Q&A yesterday, and I said,
yeah, but you can't. I mean,
well, if Fanatics buys Upper Deck,
that would have been the smart move. I mean, but what you don't realize is if I'm Upper Deck and I own, I'm going to repeat the word own, LeBron James and Michael Jordan, and is it Gretzky?
I think they might have Gretzky. I know they have LeBron and Jordan.
Yeah, if I own them, and I can make sure that no other product is ever going to have them, I can survive. Because how many people would go nuts to be able to pull a Michael Jordan autograph card right now? We know he's still around.
That would be
we know he can sign.
New MJ on card autos.
Can you imagine a prism gold?
That would be insane.
Can you imagine a 23 out of 25?
A new duel of Jordan.
Oh,
and
can
LeBron.
You imagine that? Can you imagine?
Like a young guy.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Luka, Jordan, and LeBron. Dual on card or triple on card auto.
What would that do to this industry?
It would.
We're a roller coaster. Trust me. Something will come up. Be patient. Cards have been around for over 100 years. You know what I mean?
Seeing cards, do you feel like some companies might like front load their stuff, like put the better hits in the beginning of releases?
I don't know. There's so many
theories.
There's so many theories, and it's like realistically, who's gonna know? If you're gonna tell me that they don't know where the best card is, of course they do.
Isn't all boxes like hand paint usually?
I'm sorry.
Are most boxes like hand?
I don't work for the industry, so I have no idea. I don't even want to speculate. I just know there's a lot of weird things that go on, and there's a lot of people that know certain things. I mean, I'll tell you what, Bowman's a little disappointing sometimes when you know where the refractor is or something. You don't want to see print runs like that. Back in the day, I remember 2017 Prism, they would know which box had the good colors because of the serial number that they put on it. You don't want that.
We haven't talked about this yet. We talked about this yesterday a lot on the Q&A. I want to talk about alt.
Okay.
Alt liquid auctions. We see them every 2 weeks on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people talk about it at the shows. You probably heard it a bunch today.
Alt. Okay,
let's start there.
So if you have a wonderful collection that you've started and that you put your hard-earned money into, you definitely don't want to see it running on alt. Every time, and I explained this to Darius yesterday, I had to throw away money. I had to throw wasted money on trying to purchase cards that I already have 7, 8 of them that I don't want to buy again just to save a comp.
So you're basically, you have a card, you see it running low, so you go and buy that card.
I don't want another one. I don't want another one.
Yeah.
The shops that I have to provide for now don't need one.
Yeah.
No one needs one, but I don't need it to get devastated or destroyed, so I have to purchase it just to save value because I know that their platform is so low and so weak right now because they're running it the wrong way.
So this was my theory when I did the Q&A. I said that we're live right now. You can watch it here. It's just that for some reason it's not linking up to the TV, but we're live. My theory for alt was that they should just do, for liquid auctions, they should just do cards 5K and under because everything usually 5K and under runs pretty well.
Does well. It actually does. That'd be a great idea. I would actually go a step further and say, let's do 3,000 and under just to play it safe. Because when you don't let anyone other than the United States purchase a card, you just ruin half of your basketball market on something that's already declining. Because the Asia market loves to pick up. They've had some nice basketball cards there that somebody over there would have purchased anyways. When you have to deposit the money and hope that you win something, then take it back out, then deposit it, then take it back out, then deposit it, it turns into a headache. Golden does a credit check. They let you know what they're going to give you. They check and verify and make sure that you're going to be able to purchase your item. PWCC does a great job of also getting the right people in there and making sure that they're going to purchase their item. Alt, on the other hand, is pretty much, from what I was told, 200 customers, which is super low. 200 customers.
It's got to be more than that, though, right?
I heard 200 customers. So here's a crazy thing. Now, out of those customers, how many of them are customers because all purchase their items and put their stuff in there, their money in there? So now you got a select hand of people buying something that they want, not that they need to do, not that they need to get.
I would have to assume that there's more than 200.
Oh, I mean, I was told that, but they're doing stuff right now. From what I understand, I've been talking with a certain individual at Alt. He's a good guy, and he told me that they're going to make some changes. They realize that the platform and the idea that they created isn't necessarily working at the right approach, which all of us see it. I mean, you literally sell their stuff and then it goes on auction and they're losing. They're bleeding money left and right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's major positives, but like from what we've seen over the last couple weeks with liquid auctions, the liquid auctions part of the business
is destroying it.
Yeah. Like I think if they...
It's not going down.
Oh, my bad, bro.
I just want to...
I think the liquid auctions part of their business, they need to shift, maybe just do 5K and under. Because again, if there's $100,000 card on that auction, there's only so many people that have, 30, I think it's like you can bid up to 3x what you have in the account around roughly. So there's only so many people that have 35,000 just sitting in their alt account to be able to bid
$100,000 card.
Yeah. And so that $100,000 card now does 70,000. And then people are now thinking that that's the new comp, because before, like we talked about this, before you could purchase something off of there and actually a lot of times make a profit off of it, because people would realize, hey, yeah, that card did do, let's say 1,000, but all the ones before then were 1,700, right? So we'll give you X. Now it's like it's the sale is actually becoming the market value of the card,
which is crazy. So, for example, why on Thursday would you run 2 PSA 10 LeBron James refractors on the same auction closing 5 minutes apart?
Yeah, it's tough.
Why would you do that? So they literally...
But to their defense, Golden Auctions ran 2 LeBron refractors in their auction just a couple weeks before that as well.
But Golden also has 100,000 views and 100,000 customers, if not more.
Well, let's look at it. Golden, the 2 comps were, I believe, 50,000, 54. Alt was 38,000 and 42,000. So like a 10%. Is that 10%?
No, it's more than 10%.
15? 13% hit? That's tough. But then you look at Alt's 5K and under, and it's like solid. So it's like just
concentrate.
Again, they're doing a lot of other amazing things. Like they're going to be able to, you're going to be able to have a card in their vault and take a loan off of that card. Like there's things that they're doing. They have the vault. There's things that they're doing that is dope. It's just the liquid auctions in particular is like it's affecting a market, which from just an analytical perspective, it's cool to kind of just talk about it, and the fact that we're here talking about it, I think is cool. But it's also all right, what are they going to shift to do to be able to actually succeed?
The minute that they give individuals credit, you're going to see a big difference, because unfortunately, the United States of America is built on credit. Let's be honest. People tend to, they love to pay that credit, and they love to use that credit. A lot of people don't have enough disciplinary issues to hold and withstand, so they're like, hey, I can purchase a card, I don't have to pay for it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that also saves comps, because a lot of stuff would not go that cheap if people had that privilege. It's a lot tougher to go put $100,000 into your alt account and bid on stuff. And then it's a pain in the ass to take it out. And oh my God, we have an auction next week. Put it back in. I didn't win anything. Take it back out. Oh wait, I like something next time. Put it back in.
Yeah,
oh man, I didn't get it. Take it back out. Who wants to do that?
It's tough.
Who wants to do it? Nobody. And that's one of the things that Alt has to fix right off the bat. And then they have to be able to cater to outside the United States.
I think marketing is an aspect that we had actually Adriana, the head of marketing, on the podcast, and she talked about how they're taking in data right now to execute some sort of marketing plan, which I'm excited to see. But I really think if they're going to keep continuing to run these liquid auctions every Thursday.
Yeah, just say
that marketing plan's got to like start sooner rather than later. You know what I mean?
Let me know how it's working out for them.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day,
because like when you see cards, do 30% or 40%,
it's frustrating,
25%.
especially you own those cards, and then you're trying to do a deal like today. Today, I gave some guy the exact same comps that went on Thursday for someone to do a trade that I wanted, but the card he wanted like almost 2x on it. I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't work both ways here.
Yeah.
1 minute you're telling me that it's too cheap, but now you're telling me you're going off all alts comp, but on your card, you want me to pay more. Like, let's look at this. If people were really struggling right now, if card market was really down, we were there today. We were at the Newport. Once again, Dynasty Mode, thank you. Good job. Union Station, great people. I love them.
Yeah.
People were not giving deals.
Yeah, we had a tough time getting some deals too.
You could go in there with cash. You saw what I went in there. I went with tons of cash. I went into people. I tried to buy a card. Nobody wanted to come off. I couldn't get anything at 80%. I couldn't get anything at 70%. They wanted 95% or 100% because they felt the market was already low. Trust me, when people are struggling, when people are hurting for money, you best believe if it comes to me eating food or saving a card, or me paying for gas or getting to work, I'm selling that card. So that tells you right there and should give everyone a warm, fuzzy feeling. The market is not dead. The market is not.
But dying. There's also some people.
Correcting.
Yeah.
It's correcting. And once again, I'm going to repeat myself. We are in the junk PSA phrase that people haven't seen. Supply and demand is what makes everything worthwhile. Right now, you got to figure the whole pandemic, how many people got the cards back from PSA? People have been waiting years, right? Yeah. When you do get it, like I said, Monday, there's going to be 10,000 cards coming back. Tuesday, there's going to be 10,000 cards coming back. Wednesday, when you start putting all that back into the market, when you have people that want to recoup their money because they haven't seen their cards and they don't care about them for months, and they just want to load them off, they're going to do it. And what does that do? It drops the value. And that's where we're at. Just correcting itself.
It's interesting. It's so interesting getting different people's perspective on the market because you talk to one person, they're like, yeah. And then one person's just like today, we had a guy that came to the table. Done a couple deals with him before, met him a couple times before, really knowledgeable, nice guy. He is like the most low-key whale I've ever met in my life. Like his collection is insane. And he's like, everything I think about is 10-year windows. What do I think this card is going to be in 10 years? And that's it. Like it's not day trading. It's not what can I get for it a year from now.
And those are the people that they've seen.
And then he started to tell me the cards he has, and I was like, oh shit. So, that was a super interesting conversation, and it was cool to kind of pick his brain and then talk to you now and see kind of the mindset that if you want to, be in this industry for a long period of time, there's a mindset that comes with that as well.
100%. Like I said, I told you this before. I mean, LeBron stuff's down across the board.
Yeah.
If LeBron learns and realizes that he is an entertainer and not a politician, his market won't be down. That's the key fact.
Yeah.
People are thinking, oh, the Lakers sucked. Dude, did he have one of his best years last year?
He did.
At his age, at 37, who does that? That's a phenomenal. That's a guy who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? That's an individual. Guess what? How many people who hate LeBron still want to go to a Laker game and see LeBron, or go to another place and see LeBron? Everyone who goes to a basketball game wants to see LeBron. The problem is he thought he was a politician. He opened his mouth. He started saying stuff that he shouldn't have said. And the people that collect it, the people that have the money to buy the real expensive cards, realize, you know what? That's not for me. Because I've talked to people, and they said it right there to my face. I don't care. I don't want his card at that price. I don't want it at that price. Matter of fact, I was able to buy cards when he opened his mouth at a discount. And I bought them. I bought them. I was buying everything left and right. Now, guess what? His agent or someone told him to shut up, and now he's a billionaire. You know what I mean? It's amazing when we just learn to realize what we are. He is an athlete. He's a phenomenal athlete. He is an entertainer. Entertain for us. Don't give me your opinion on what you think is right and wrong from a perspective that you are one-sided on. And it killed his market. I'll tell you one thing. Mike Trout, Angels never win, right? You're talking about a losing record every year. But how many people love Mike Trout? How many people buy Mike Trout? Do you see Mike Trout's cards dipping? The guy's been hurt last year. He got hurt. Did his cards dip?
They've dipped, but they're strong now.
They dipped?
A little bit.
His orange PSA 10 sold for $500,000. That card was not even $200,000 last year.
Yeah.
His blues, they've been 60, even though he got hurt last year and hurt the year before. Mike Trout is something that the fans appreciate, the people respect him, the people like him. It's different when you have that just doesn't, LeBron.
I would say with LeBron though, it's like for example, this is a good like thing to bring in. Let's say Muhammad Ali, right?
Okay.
Like was alive, right? His career is playing out in today's card market.
Oh God, dude.
Right?
That's another guy. I mean,
but like
people wouldn't be buying his stuff.
But he's a legend.
Doesn't matter. LeBron's a legend. People that have the money to buy the LeBron cards, the rookies, the refractors, you're a basketball player. You're not a politician. And keep it that way. Go out on the court.
But that's the viewpoint of the collector. That's 100% the card.
Well, guess what? They're the ones. There aren't too many people that are collectors that are buying exquisites at $1 million.
Yeah. It's just interesting, like a guy like Muhammad Ali, right? Like in today's card market, like his shit would just be like this.
Without a doubt. They'd love him. They would love him on the week before the fight. They'd love him during the fight. They'd love him 3 days after the fight, and they'd be selling it at a fraction.
And
he'd have one bad speech on. And
he's arguably the greatest athlete of all time.
I don't know. Jackie Robinson was pretty impressive.
Top 2, football. Top 3.
People don't, but if you look at what he did at UCLA, what he performed in the track and field, football. I mean, you're talking about a guy who could have been first round football, probably one of the best athletes in track and field. Did what he did in baseball, what he had to go against, what he had to, it's ridiculous.
He didn't have Muhammad Ali had to go through some shit too.
You know what? Here's one thing about Muhammad Ali. I mean, he didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And guess what? He could back it up. That's the crazy thing. And the beautiful thing is you look at what he went through in the United States, but you got to understand that boxing is internationally well known and people love him all over the world. Difference is basketball, which the Asian market appreciates it and loves the cards.
Yeah.
We looked at the Lakers as this is the Lakers, and you have this guy trying to be a freaking politician. Don't do it. You know, you don't see too many baseball players shooting their mouth. Dude, Tom Brady, for God's sakes. When do you see Tom Brady do something like that?
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know. I still got Muhammad Ali as the greatest athlete of all time.
You think Kobe's best basketball player of all time?
I don't think Muhammad Ali being the greatest athlete of all time is like uncommon.
There's a lot of guys that are great athletes. I mean, he's definitely, I don't
top 3 for sure.
I don't know. I really don't.
Go see him top 3.
You have who do you have?
Top 3?
Yeah.
You're talking about pure athletes.
Like
you're talking that's
greatest
a little different
athlete of all time.
Combination of their sport,
Well, I mean, if you pick their sport, is that you'll learn that like some of these baseball players. I've learned one thing like for football prospecting. You got a guy who's you can be a great athlete, and you're not that team player, but you can run the fastest. And you can do all kinds of things, but sometimes there's pure athletes that are just wow. Doesn't matter where you put them.
I'm saying greatest athlete from the terms of like their career, like what they did during their career. So
I would say Bo Jackson. That's a good. But
one. I would say like Floyd had a better boxing career, right? Like in terms of like boxing. But I think
that's true. 951 collector.
What do they say?
Phelps greatest Olympian, but athlete is another category. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, like, yeah, it's tough when you're doing athlete, because Bo Jackson was something that we've never seen before. When you saw a guy, I remember, oh my God, they used to have this thing called baseball Sundays where they would show the highlights of the week because there was no ESPN, so it was on CBS, right? And Bo Jackson was in every baseball highlight. There one time he's trying to take a timeout and he puts his hand up there and they didn't give it to him. He reaches back, boom, home run, one-handed home run. You know what I mean? You're talking about a guy who would break a bat over his leg. No one saw that. I mean, there's been enough baseball players that probably got a bruise, but he was a pure athlete. And I mean, you're talking about football who was faster than Bo Jackson. Like the fact that he got caught from behind ruined his career. I mean, that guy was amazing.
Best running back probably all time.
Oh, that one's tough too. But
And then
Barry was sick.
Barry Sanders.
Oh my God! You see the highlights of Barry Sanders? You ever one day?
Not a big football guy.
You know what? But here's a perfect example. You know, here's a stat that I saw that I thought was interesting. And this is I heard it on a couple channels. So right now people are panicking for the sports card industry, right? And like I said, I've been doing it for a long time. And usually June, kids graduate, kids are at home, parents have to do something to keep them occupied, have to spend more money taking them out. Kids want to go to the movies, want to have their friends over. Everything costs more. July, they want to go on vacation. August, they're in preparation, but still on vacation for school. These are the down times. Last year, I had Mikey because Mikey was panicking like it's everything slow. I had him pull up our numbers. We had one of the greatest years, if you want to compare to anyone, right? And our worst month, June and July. So that makes me feel good because we're in June and July and we're talking about the same thing. Now, we see numbers a little bit different, but at the end of the day, they're still down.
Yeah.
They're still down right now. June and July are the worst months. So that makes me feel more comfortable. It isn't, I would have been more scared if it was February, March, April, May, like the ones when they're hot. And here's another thing. It used to be in June and July, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, nobody was talking about football. Right now, football is the hottest thing, which is huge because last year, football was hotter than it was the year before. And if you look at the last 4 years, because Mikey keeps track of where we were at, football has increased every year. And he does it by the month and our sales, what we do. So like I said, he does a lot of things that we don't look at or we don't appreciate, but it's data that we can compare to. So I see that data and I'm not in panic mode. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's buy more. But football is going to explode. Now, I'll tell you what, next year football draft. Yeah. When the cards come out with Prism, I don't know who you asking for. You're not going to see too many exciting things. You know what I mean? But I do know that, and here's the stat I was referring to. The number one watched basketball game last year with the most fan views was Lakers against Golden State on Christmas. And the worst football game watched was Raiders against Cleveland on live TV. And that Raiders and Cleveland had more viewers than the number one basketball all year. Go look it up. So that tells me that football is where it's at. And it's crazy. Football is going nuts. And so here's another thing. People are worried about the cards. I couldn't buy any Herberts today. I couldn't buy any Allens today. Patrick Mahomes, he's supposed to be horrible now. He lost Tyreek. How come no one will sell me any Patrick Mahomes? How about no one will sell me any quarterbacks today? There's not one quarterback that I could have bought today, any rookie at 90%. 90% of comps. Everybody held on to it, right or wrong. And you saw me trying. And I bought a lot today. Mm-hmm. They won't do it. So that's a market that people are worried about. That's a market that people are scared about. No, they're scared about basketball.
Yeah, but I think when season starts, all of football is going to come down. And that happened last year.
That's how I always go.
Did it come down? So yeah, Herberts are selling higher now.
Mahomes got annihilated last year. Lamar went down.
Lamar got injured.
Kyler went down.
Kyler got
Drew
injured.
Lock went down.
Drew Lock didn't even start. The guy was a bum. Sorry,
but
sorry,
still
Mikey.
Went down.
Sorry, Mikey. Drew Lock will win MVP.
It still went down. Brady's stuff had to run up. Well, I'm trying to think of stuff that went up. Herbert went up.
Joe Burrow went up.
Joe Burrow went up. Yeah.
But the problem with football, which is I don't know what. Hopefully, like I said, we're working with coffee breakers now. Hopefully, we're able to do something to help out the industry. Defensive players deserve to get noted. Defensive players deserve to have a value. Parsons, Jesus, you know what I mean? Come on. Yeah, I'll take every single one. But what I'm saying is we also need to realize, what about receivers and running backs? Derrick Henry stuff is worthless. I mean, this guy's a freak.
People just don't care that much.
Yeah, but everyone wants every quarterback. You know what I mean?
Quarterback also has a longer career, right?
They have a longer career, which makes a difference. But I mean, there are certain phenomena that happen. I mean, receivers can last a long time. Running backs tend not to last a very long time. But when they break records or they have great years, they should get the value that they deserve. Yeah. These quarterbacks, geez. I mean, everyone, like I said today, I couldn't pick up a Herbert to save my life.
It's tough. I say we rip a product right now and give it away to a guest.
Whatever you want to do.
All right, let me go pick. We're back.
So UFC, I'm not personally, I'm not a fan of UFC, but for the market, I loved it. I loved it. I loved what it did for the people. You know what I mean? Formula One, I've learned to appreciate it. The documentary on Netflix helped promote it. Here's the crazy thing that I learned. I deal with a lot of high-end people, and they are nuts for the short-printed Formula One. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, for 2020 Formula One, those people that aren't sports card collectors, they're picking it up, they're buying it, they're holding it, and they will make sure 100% that stuff does not drop. Well, Formula One.
You're making me feel bad now.
No, because
sold some Formula
One.
Well,
I'm just telling you. I mean, they're making sure.
You didn't tell me this morning.
Yeah, so they're the high end stuff. You know what I mean? The high end stuff, the stuff that's graded, ready to go. They're holding on to it, and they're not holding on to Brady's and LeBron. They're holding on to Formula One players that they like, or drivers that they like, that they feel are going to be there.
I think that race in Vegas helped out too. The race next year.
2023, right?
What do you think that's going to do?
I think we need to go.
That's going to be. Oh, we'll be there for sure. 100.
I think 100. We need to go.
I missed the Miami one. I was invited to the Miami one. I'm so disappointed, but I was having a baby.
Have you heard of True Creator?
I did. This is the one that has the.
It's all the creators like cards in here. So like all the big YouTubers like FaZe Rug, Flights in here.
You can get like a Curry auto, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what everyone's promoting with True Creator.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is series 2. It just came out. So you have 6 cards per pack, 12 packs per box, 2 guaranteed hits. Mm-hmm. So the hits, I think he said it was it could be like a relic or an auto. It's not like 2 guaranteed autos. Mm-hmm. So let's rip this open, rip everything, and then we'll give away all the cards to him.
Great episode. I appreciate it, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Well, it's not done yet. We're ripping.
Giannis auto. What are you saying on the Giannis auto, Mikey?
Oh, Giannis is in here.
Huh?
Giannis is in this product.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
You can pull one. Oh, okay. Well, Mikey Rizzo knows what Giannis did for us. You saw that, guys, right? We were the ones who sold the 1-of-1 black mosaic Giannis. That was beautiful.
Can you talk about that real quick?
Man, I don't know. I don't know if I want to bring it up. My buddy Blaise, shout out to Blaise. He had 2 cards that I wanted. He had this. Someone had told me this guy didn't even give me his name at first. Has this 1-of-1 Giannis. Thinks he wants like $250,000 for it. I said 1-of-1. Send me a picture.
Yeah.
Send me a picture. And once again, people aren't buying cards like that at $250,000. That's unheard of. Then he shows me he has a LeBron Bowman gold too. I said, tell him I want both. And, I said, I'll buy it. I'm buying everything. I don't care. I literally got on the road, went straight there, bought both, picked up both, and it was a good deal. And we sold it on Golden for $1.1 million. And that was
Holy shit.
That was beautiful. And
that's what you call a flip.
Yeah. And I still have the LeBron to this day. I actually ended up picking up another LeBron gold. But no, we did real well. Golden did real well. Golden, I appreciate Ken. Ken, you're the man. You and I, great relationship that we've developed. I truly appreciate everything, guys. I know a lot of people say some stuff about Ken Golden on the website, but they have good deals and they try their best. And I appreciate Ken Golden. Once again, shout out to Central Valley, Luka Doncic, PC, my boy Sasha.
Dude, it's still a pod. We're just ripping now. Are you recording, Franklin? All right, cool. So we'll go pack for pack. I'm gonna go first one. Oh, Kenny Chow's in this product too. You know Kenny. You met him. Kai, Eli Mack.
Who makes this product?
So True Creator. So they're the
guys. How'd you like the podcast? I'm curious.
Bro, it's not done yet. We're still going. Mac Jones in this product.
Wow, there you go. You got a refractor.
Red. All right. It's not bad. All right, your turn.
All right. Yeah, I probably do. Ooh. Is that gold? No, is that gold?
I don't know.
Oh man,
that actually does look like a gold.
So what is this? This is his first time.
Yeah. So
man, Phantom TV. I'm gonna say just like I do. Chris next door. Here we go, yo. Josh. Yeah, Josh. Good luck. Oh, I know him. Hey, this guy's a beast. I like this kid.
We have he's cool.
He's cool, man. Cool. Man, I see some of his stuff. Hey. I want you to do a break with us, bud.
There's a gold. Is that a gold?
That's what I'm saying. That's a gold, right?
Moochie. Is it Mookie or Moochie?
Moochie.
I think it's a gold parallel.
My buddy just bought a dog named Moochie.
Really?
Yeah. They named him Moochie. So good job, Moochie.
All right. I think you had the better pack on that one. Not gonna lie. Somebody said sponsor. Nice pod. We're ripping. True Creator Series 2. Sam Howell.
What, he comes in every pack?
2 hype. That's the whole group. Kenny Chow, that's our guy.
There you go.
AJ Lepre. Duke. And I think
so
there's
the golds aren't that good.
Zach TTG. Oh, they're not numbered. The golds aren't numbered.
Yeah. All right, here we go, guys. Come on. Let's pull out some fire. Fire.
Giannis auto.
Eli. So there's one.
So Chris
came on with you guys.
He came on the podcast. Yep.
There you go.
I'm Davis. Not bad. I don't know too much.
Mac Jones.
B Dot. I love his stuff. Oh, Phase.
Still not
product.
There you go. Who's winning?
I think you are.
Oh man.
Well, because it's just pain. She's pain.
You get 2.
There's either 2 hits, so it's not guaranteed autos though, because it could be like a patch or something like that. You got a relic, right? Mike Tyson.
What's up, buddy?
I don't know who that is. Haley Cavender. Josh Horton. Flight. Perp Blue. And Simplistic. All right, yeah, my packs have been rough.
It's been real tough. All right, Henry Jones. Moochie. Omar.
He has a sneaker shop, I think, right?
Does he?
I think so. FaZe Rug. There you go. Rug. If we had a FaZe Rug auto, that would be clutch.
Yo boy pizza. What is that?
That's a prospect.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
Ayo de Somnomio.
There you go.
Is a Garden Chicago. All right, that's what we know. FaZe Rug auto would slap. Oh, wait. I think we have something. We have something in the back.
You got a relic.
Zach, TTG, AJ, Emery Jones, Chris next door, Henry the Blasian.
What the heck?
It's thick.
Here you go.
Let's see.
Thick like tiger. Nope.
Yo boy pizza patch.
Oh man, there you go. You got part of his pizza hat.
Damn, I wanted something with phase rug. Phase rug is insanely big. Like social wise. I don't know what it is. Chris next door. Tristan Jass. Hannah Cavender. Tysano.
You get a pizza in every box?
I guess.
Huh? Pizza in every pack, I mean? That's our 4th pizza.
That is our... Oh, we have a numbered card in the back.
Oh, man, finally.
Sam Howell, Spencer Rattler, Simplistic, Gio Wise, he's kind of getting big, Hannah Cavender, and Zach TTG, numbered to 100, 24 out of 100. Shout out to Kobe.
There you go.
So are those the 2 hits then? Because one was numbered and one was a relic?
Eli Mack.
B-Dot has good content.
Davis. Joe Knows.
Gio Wise. Who's that? Marcellus Howard. That's Kenny's boy. They're homies. There's another numbered card.
No, so you get all the numbered cards. So
I'm doing better now.
You are doing better.
I don't know who that is. Hannah Cavender.
Come on, pizza.
Cash. We haven't hit cash yet. Spencer Rattler. AJ Lepre. Auto. Jidel. Cracked ice. Out of 100.
That's a winner.
I wanted phase rug, not gonna lie. Well, we'll take you, Jidel. That's cool. They made it like cracked ice. Like that
is cool. Uh-oh. We got something. We got Jidel. There he is.
All right.
Put him with his card. We got Cash. What's up, Cash? Flight. What's up, Flight? We got Cash and Flight. How about
there
Flight?
You go.
Flight Cash.
Gio Wise. Simplistic.
And Simplistic.
Who do you think won? I think I murdered on those number cards and relics. I came back.
We're going to give it to a lucky fan.
I will. Here, I'll put your mic a little closer to you, too. All right, we're going to give all these cards away. If I can find my phone, I will do it. Yeah, I'm going to get it up real soon. Add. Giveaway. True creator. Guys, make sure you join the giveaway because it's absolutely free and there's no reason not to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Crypto's still down.
Oh. I thought, that's pain. Isn't ETH at like 1,500?
Is it that high?
Is it that high? This guy.
What did I tell you about that? We had that conversation the first time I met you.
Yeah, I didn't listen.
Huh? How did you feel?
I mean, I don't feel amazing right now, but I just gotta, keep,
There you go.
Keep playing the game.
Huh? Hope someone wants a great crypto and they'll go up.
All right, we're just pulled up the giveaway. Make sure you get your entries in. I think our best hit was the Jidel cracked ice auto out of 100.
How many people in the room?
30.
Probably 31 right now.
35.
All right, I am going to.
Mikey, give some giveaways on Rizo Sports right now. Let these people come in and see what you got. Show them some inventory. Be sure to give them some giveaways. Do it on Whatnot for them.
What the heck?
You can't.
Hmm?
I was going to tell Mikey to give some giveaways.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I'm trying to press like it to start the giveaway, but it won't. It won't let me. Let me see if I can go out of it and go back in. Oh, here we go. All right. What?
Ask Whatnot to be nice to us too, please, Sasha.
They're very nice to you guys.
They were. You said the key word were.
They are. They are.
He said
they
it
are.
exactly.
No,
Can they now?
They are. 951 collector.
Nice.
Congrats.
Who's 951 collector?
Riverside in the house, they said.
Who is that?
Huh?
Who is that? Who is that? Is that Panhands?
They said they're from Riverside.
Who's 951 Collector?
He said me.
You said me.
Who's me? What's your name? What did Rizo say?
The winner? My name is Dan Lansau.
All right, 951 Collector. Congratulations.
Congrats. We're going to get these shipped out to you. Franklin's going to get it done.
Get it done, Franklin.
Appreciate it, guys, for tuning in. Rizzo, that was a fun time, bro.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm sorry that it took so long for me to get here.
Well, you had a baby, so I can respect that.
No, but I mean, you asked me way back when, remember?
I did.
We too.
I did.
Huh?
You're here now, though.
Hey,
thank you.
Always late, but worth the wait.
It was worth the wait. I think people probably got a lot out of this episode, bro. We talked about a lot of shit. Talked about a lot of stuff that was needed too. That a lot of people I feel like don't want to talk about.
No, that's good. I liked it. I appreciate you you guys having me. Shout out Rizo Sports, guys. Go in there, check our channel, check what we have. Mikey, make sure you give some nice giveaways for the people. Come check our shops. Like I said, we appreciate everyone. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, my man, for coming on the podcast. Guys, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below as well. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave a positive review. We'd really appreciate that. And if you're in the live stream, guys, you are the best.
Some of the comments.
People are saying thank you for the shows. Thank you. Thank you for joining the giveaways. Thank you for interacting with us. We will be back for another episode of the podcast with Chris Costa.
Nice.
You know Chris. He's another fellow shop owner, Card Vault. He'll be coming on. He's actually flying from Boston to us just to do the podcast. So I'm really hyped about that.
That's huge.
Rizzo, again, thank you so much for coming on.
I
appreciate that, bro. Maybe we'll do a deal after this. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows?
See how I can get
fucked. No, we'll have a good time. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Appreciate it, guys.